I'm one who will always give credit where credit is due. And a little over a week ago, I attended a town hall in a purple district here in Oregon. I went to go hear my Senator Ron Wyden and the congresswoman from that district. She's not my congresswoman. This is the district south of mine. Her name is Janelle Bynum. She is the first Black person from Oregon ever to serve in Congress, and she flipped a red district blue. She beat a MAGA congresswoman and is serving in a very, very purple district as a freshman in Congress. So I broke down that town hall in a series of 3 videos that are on TikTok and on YouTube. They are together as one compilation. And there was criticism of Congresswoman Bynum, I think, from more progressive members of her district that were not happy with some of the things that she voted for, like the Laken Riley Act, and felt that she was not aggressive enough. Understanding that, again, she flipped a MAGA district blue in the last election, and she has to represent the needs of a district that looks very different than my district in East Portland. But in the course of that town hall, one of the things that came up repeatedly, and was one of the first things that I noticed right as the town hall was getting started, was how the composition of the town hall was primarily Gen X and Boomer. And there was a definite dearth of Gen Z. Right, and the concerns from constituents were, why is it that the Democratic Party is not reaching Gen Z, is not talking about the issues that Gen Z cares about, and is not going where Gen Z is, right? And we are all concerned because the last election showed how many younger folks have been red-pilled. And I want to give credit where credit is due, because not only Senator Wyden, but also the Congresswoman said, tell us where to go. We want to reach younger folks because we feel that our message is compelling and meets their needs. We want to meet their needs. Whereas MAGA is doing things to actively make their lives harder and take away the future that they deserve. I was critical in that moment, being like, how can y'all not know by now how to reach Gen Z? One, look at what the Kamala Harris campaign did. They employed young folks. They got very savvy on social media. But also, there is this total lack of awareness about how much younger folks, how much everybody in America uses podcasts, how important it is for our electeds to be on podcasts. That is how they reach people. It's not these crusty old, press conferences on the steps of some government building where legacy media is interviewing them. And Chuck Schumer is like, we will win. That is not how you reach young people. You have to get on the podcast. You have to go to the social media platforms where young people are, and you have to reach them with a compelling message. And the Congresswoman said, tell me where to go and I will go there. She is the mother of 2 young adults. Her kids are college age, just like my 2 eldest kids. And I can tell that she wants a better future for our young adults, for our children as well, for everybody in America. I don't doubt that from her at all. Just because she is slightly more conservative. She said a few things in her town hall that were clearly I'm trying to balance the needs of everybody in my district.
How did you do it? What's the secret?
So I'm a mom, I'm an electrical engineer, I'm a 4-term state legislator, and now congresswoman. Here's the thing that matters the most that people need to remember. This is all about math, pure and simple. And so I had run against Lori Chavez DeRemer twice before and had 2 more very difficult elections in a purple seat. You have to, number one, know where you can win, which precincts you can win in. That's kind of the math part. The other part is the messaging. I'm a mom. I've got 2 kids in college, and they're trying to make their way in the world. And I've just talked about the real world things that we are experiencing as a working family. And so that's why I focused on costs, jobs, quality of life. Across the political spectrum, doesn't matter whether you're red, blue, independent. That was the message that resonated with people.
So Ben is asking the Congresswoman what it is that was a compelling campaign for her. What was the messaging that reached her very purple district? A district that previously had a MAGA Congresswoman who is now our Secretary of Labor, which is just terrible. She does not care about protecting union workers. She does not care about labor, workers' rights, workers' safety. Anyway, the Congresswoman said that she needed to speak to what the concerns of the working class are. Her message was simple, and she made sure that she had a district where, the numbers were going to play out. If her messaging was right, it was going to be compelling in that district. And it was, and she flipped that district blue. In a year where Donald Trump won, This is what we need. We need more of our elected officials to go onto popular podcasts, go where the people are, and communicate a compelling message. Speak to the issues that working class Americans care about. Right? Ben was asking her, what worked for you? Clearly, what you've done is something that can be reproducible. You flipped a district in a year where Donald Trump won. So you clearly did something right. So let's look at what you did and see if we can reproduce it.
But most importantly, Republicans across the country need to be able to stand up and push back. They shouldn't be able to just sit down and get away with walking away and saying, oh, well, I think things are going great, because you know damn well they're not going great. When your seniors are upset, when your young people aren't having a chance, when you're picking on the disabled, and when you're letting our life and property go up in flames and you're not doing anything about it, Republicans themselves should still be upset at all of this. And we have to push them. You either have to push them to move or push them out. How do they say it? You either need to let me help you out or let me help you out.
So you can see the title there. Go watch the whole episode. Hear everything the Congresswoman has to say. As her slogan says, give 'em hell, Janelle, right? I am so grateful that she listened to her constituents and that she is making this effort. I want to add here as well that Ron Wyden, our senator, he also went on a podcast this week. He went on the Dangerous Ones, and I'll probably talk about his interview there as well. Yeah, so I'll probably talk about that podcast more, maybe later tomorrow. I need to go for my walk before it gets dark. But I do want to say here that this is what we need. We need Democrats in Congress who are willing to listen to their constituents, who are starting to understand the urgency of the moment and are starting to get more aggressive. They need to level up real quick. But at least we are seeing a number of them who are willing to do that, who are saying, we understand. We understand we have not done enough, and here we are doing more. We are starting to understand the assignment. It's taken our brains a little bit to process, but we are starting to get with the program. Unlike Chuck Schumer, who's getting overwhelming feedback from his constituents and from Democrats all around the country that he should step down. And senators all over the country are getting calls from their constituents demanding new leadership. And Chuck Schumer is saying, I'm not going to listen to y'all. I do what I want. I'm wealthy, I'm entrenched, and I have the backing of big business, of corporations, and I will stay here, even if it is for the detriment of Democrats, for Congress, for the American people. I am not going to listen. I'm going to stay where I'm at. Right? Chuck Schumer is being defiant, and he's being a hindrance. And here we see Congresswoman Bynum and also Senator Ron Wyden, who are listening and are saying, I want to be a help. I want to work to preserve democracy. I'm going to listen to my constituents and I'm going to do what they tell me. So thank you, Janelle. Thanks for being willing to do that. And I hope to see more. I hope to see more from you. I am excited to see what our younger members of Congress are going to be doing, the way that they are rising up. I said in a previous video that the new leaders are making themselves known. History is passing people like Chuck Schumer by and leaving them in the dust, and the new leaders are emerging.